$150 million in federal funding for Metro is now caught up in a heated debate in Congress. House Republicans, led by its freshman class of Tea Party conservatives, determined to slash the federal budget. Fox 5 Bob Barnard is here now with an update on how things are going. Bob.
Well, not too well, Sean. At stake, $1 billion worth of safety upgrades the NTSB recommended after that deadly red line crash 2 years ago, including new rail cars that are less likely to crumble in a crash. The new blood in Congress is having none of it. The unprecedented spring cleaning on Capitol Hill's engineered by some of the newest members of Congress, the freshman class of House Republicans.
We all know we have to cut, and everybody's got to put their cards on the table. Everything's got to be cut.
Including $150 million for Metro.
I certainly don't want your Metro system to shut down. I certainly want to make sure that we have the proper funding sources for the authority. However, it's my responsibility to make sure that the taxpayer money going into that system is being used wisely.
Jeff Landry of Louisiana says he was sent to Washington with a mandate made clear again just last weekend.
I had a town hall meeting in Houma, Louisiana. And when I walked in, I saw this chainsaw on the table that people were signing. I didn't know what it was.
It was a message.
My constituents gave me this chainsaw and said, please take this back to Washington. That's what you need to use to cut the budget.
That's just what freshman Republicans were proposing to do on the House floor today.
We've got to quit spending 42 cents out of every dollar with borrowed money. And we've got to quit spending money we don't have. And that's going to make some tough choices all the way around.
And if the Metro system is one of the casualties, that's it?
Well, we've got to make some tough choices right now. We just can't afford to do everything that we've been able to do in the past.
Well, some of these guys have no idea what they're voting for, and that's what you're hearing. The Metro funding was a bipartisan agreement.
Coming just days after that deadly crash on the Red Line 2 years ago. The $150 million was meant for safety and infrastructure only, not general operations.
This would really severely damage the operations of the Washington Metro system.
Especially since Maryland, D.C., and Virginia have threatened to put the brakes on their matching $150 million. So a total of $300 million is at stake here, and that's just for next year. Congress had promised to fund $1.5 billion in safety and infrastructure improvements over the next 10 years, a commitment very much in doubt tonight, Laura.
Bob Barnard, thank you. Speaking of Metro, this is going to be a very busy weekend for Metro with visitors headed to the Cherry Blossom Festival. Stations are also opening early to accommodate people heading to this Sunday's Cherry Blossom 10-mile run and 5K run walk. That race starts at 7:40 a.m. Metro opens at 5 a.m. The Smithsonian Metro station on the blue and orange lines is the closest stop to the start line.